Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die.
Welcome to your Thursday night talk.
Wait, we gotta say it right.
Your
Your Thursday
Thursday
night.
night talk.
It's,
Thank
it's
you.
not polite to point, but
Look, your
your
Thursday night talk. Oh, of course,
and
you all.
we are the Seventh Region
And
Coalition to help save lives.
there we go. And listen, at the end of the day, what we gonna do? We got the like and we got the
It
share.
is yours, so you might as well share, like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet.
And
Copy and
please
paste
just
the URL with a couple of friends, family, on this very awesome topic of education here tonight. And who does not need to have a conversation about education?
absolutely correct. And so, Brother Tony, while you're mentioning education, this is a very unique education that, it's actually taking off by storm. This is it's actually something that has been happening for a while, but since the pandemic, it has been kind of like high increase, high volume. And a lot of times when you have, these little diamonds in the rough, as cream, as we have taught, it always rises. And this particular type of education is on the rise. But I don't want to belabor the point. I want to pass it back over to you, Brother Tony, so we can discuss what ministry we're going to actually be talking about and bring our guests on to the show.
Absolutely, Sister Kalila. Let me begin properly. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that He came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, the Supreme Being, to whom holy praises all forever due. I am forever thankful to Almighty God Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I thank them both for the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Baragani, Hotep, free the land. Buenas noches, sac passe. Regardless to the language, regardless as to the greeting, we're greeting you in whatever greeting you greet each other in right now. We are the Seventh Region Coalition to help save lives. Our purpose is to unite our people into a coalition. A coalition is a group of people that have made the rational decision to come together in unity for a common cause. Beloved family, we were assembled by Student Regional Minister, Student Minister Patrick Muhammad, soon after the Criterion message of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan back in July 4th, 2020. We are 5 years strong, and we are continuing to bring these broadcasts about saving lives. Today, we are broadcasting these programs through the 9 ministries, as Sister Kalila mentioned earlier. These 9 ministries were introduced to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan back in 2005 in the midst of the Millions More movement. These are 9 ministries where we find our purpose in life. 9 ministries all geared towards guiding people to right guidance, guiding our people to right information, with the intention of saving lives. So, beloved family, the ministry that we're focusing on here tonight is the Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education is responsible for the mental and moral development of the members of the society by means of formal instruction in a prescribed manner over a prescribed period of time in a system of learning ranging from preschool through primary through advanced academic levels, culminating in the conferring of academic degrees under the direction of a National Board of Education. In addition to academic instruction, students shall receive teaching and training in the way of righteous conduct, decency, and self-respect, with the goal of making a better nation of people. To introduce our esteemed guests here tonight, I pass it over to our illustrious brother, Brother Mark.
Thank you, Brother Tony. And what a beautiful and honorable ministry to be focused on tonight. So let me get started with our first guest, Sister Gina Tay Muhammad. She was educated at Justin F. Kimball High School, Mountain View Community College, Strayer University, and earning a degree in business. And she currently serves as owner of Stepping Stones Online Education Group, LLC, as well as principal. Sister Gina Tay Muhammad brings over a decade of dedicated experience in homeschooling and educational leadership. Beginning her journey in 2012 with this homeschooling group in Shreveport, Louisiana, she spent 2 years fostering foundational learning at the study group. Relocating to Dallas, Texas, Sister Gina Tay served as a second grade instructor at Dallas MUI, Muhammad University of Islam, for 3 years while launching a successful micro school from her home. Her passion for education and leadership then took her to Detroit, Michigan, where she served as interim director at Muhammad University of Islam of Mosque Number 1 for 2 years. Continuing her commitment to early childhood education, Sister Gina Tay taught second grade in Atlanta for a year and a half before returning to Dallas. There, she reopened her in-person micro school, Stepping Stones, while completing her business degree. During the pandemic, Sister Gina Tay innovated by founding an online reading camp, which evolved into Stepping Stones Online Education. Now in its 5th year, Stepping Stones Online Education continues to empower students with quality, accessible learning. Sister Gina Tay Muhammad's blend of instructional expertise, leadership, and entrepreneurial spirit drives her vision for nurturing academic growth and lifelong learning. Let us welcome to Thursday Night Talk, Sister Gina Tay Muhammad. All right.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
We have one more person to
One more
introduce.
guest bring on, then we can get it
Go
going.
ahead, Brother Mark.
Another illustrious is Sister Tiffany. Sister Tiffany specializes in STEAM education and project-based learning, priding herself in engaging Black and Brown children with hands-on life sciences and nation-building curriculum. After attending Claflin University, a historically Black university in Orangeburg, South Carolina, majoring in business administration. Sister Tiffany transferred to the University of Missouri St. Louis with a major in international business with a minor in political science. Sister Tiffany X has over 15 years of diverse educational experience with humble beginnings in the St. Louis Public School, working as a paraprofessional. After moving to Dallas, she served as an elementary assistant at MUI, Muhammad University of Islam, in Dallas, Texas. In 2014, Sister Tiffany opened and operated her own tutoring service. But once becoming a new mom, she decided to open her own private STEAM micro school and just recently formed a partnership with our own dear sister Gina Tay and the new owner of Stepping Stones Online Education Elementary School. Let us also bring on to Thursday Night Talk, Sister Tiffany X. Bring her on.
Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Listen, you all are, first of all, I have to always give you the flowers while you live, because a lot of times we take education for granted.
That's
And
right.
especially when we are training our children to actually live their potential while doing it at home, then abroad. And you all have created this unique stepping stone, this grounding of education that is really good for the education of the mental space and the physical space. So therefore they will have their own space to create their own and be themselves. So I applaud you both for all you have done and all you are doing and will be doing to with our children, because again, the future is bright with both of you um, at the hands of those two unique tools, which is homeschool. And we're going to get right into it. Um, Brother Tony, I actually changed the format, as you can see.
Uh-oh.
You changed the form.
I did.
Okay. Well, let's get started. That's hilarious. You, you didn't even have to say that.
Okay.
I know I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention. But beloved sisters, it's such an esteemed honor to have you on this program. Whenever we're discussing the education of our children, that's not lightweight conversation. We are just we These are conversations where we as educators we help children find their purpose in life through the various curriculums that we introduce to them. We are, in fact, solidifying our future through our interventive work. And so, the first question I have for the both of you is how was the school birth? Has it always been an online school?
Praise be to Allah. I will start, if you all don't mind. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah who came to us in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is indeed our messenger, our Messiah. And yes, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the Jesus in our midst today. So I would like to greet the panel and our guests in a nation where the peace of Assalamu alaikum. So to quickly answer your question, no, sir, it did not start online. We actually had different cuts of what would finally be stepping stones online education. We started off being Blackstone in Shreveport, Louisiana. Our dear brother study group coordinator allowed us to meet there daily during the week, and we had about 7 students. 4 of them were my own. Then I opened up something again in my home where there were 6 students, 4 of them being my own. And then when I got back to Dallas from Atlanta, I started again. And at that time, I had 3 students. And I treated my 3 students like we had a full-blown school, because that's what it was to me. We did STEM projects, we did field trips, and they were all different ages. I'm sorry, it was 4. One was a pre-K, one was in 1st grade, one was in 4th grade, and the other one was in 5th. And so I had it in my heart and my mind that this is what we needed to do. The whole living room was set up as a school. We had a whiteboard. We had a desk for them to meet. We had a lunch table, and that was stepping stones. Then I had to go back to work. I had to go back into the school. And shortly, this is how I know that Allah did not want me there, because as soon as I got in the school, 5 months later, the pandemic hit, and I had to retreat and come back home. And one of the things that I heard in the school was the dramatic difference of reading levels during this time. And so I said, well, let me do something online to help the babies to read. So I formulated, me and Sister Rhonda Muhammad decided to do a summer program of reading. And the students' results were so phenomenal that the parents were saying, Sister Gina Tay, you have to open up a school online. I'll pay you this much and I'll pay you that much. Just please create something online. And so I didn't know what to do. I was like, can I do this online? Well, 5 years later, absolutely, we can do this online by the grace of Allah. And so this year we have grown so large that I have decided to go into a partnership with Sister Tiffany X, and she is now the owner of our elementary of over 40 students this year. And I have taken ownership of being the secondary owner, and we have 90 students in our secondary.
Right now.
All praise
Praise
Allah.
Allah. Wow, that is amazing.
Sister Tiffany, would you like to add to the story on how you came on board?
Yes, sir. I'll just add a little tidbit. Sister Gina Tay has been my mentor and my sister. In my bio that Brother Mark read, where it talks about me being an assistant at the MUI Dallas, well, I was her assistant in her classroom. And we worked together, so we've been working together for a long time. And when the pandemic happened, it's so funny, Sister Gina Tay, I don't know if you remember this, but we were sitting in your home and we were talking about working together and opening a school together. And now this is a full circle moment because we're actually doing that. I have been running my own school out of my home since 2017, like it said in my bio. And it's a STEM school, specifically STEM, but also with the A for agriculture. We incorporate STEAM for agriculture. So we get out there, we're in the backyard growing food. We have chickens and all that good stuff. And so, you know, Sister Gina Tay asked me about, and she's a great supporter of the school and everything that I do, as I support her as well. And she asked me, she said, hey, what you think about partnering? And I said, let's do it. You know, unity is key. You know, the minister said our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. So it just was that easy. You know, when you have two people with pure heart and pure intention, pure motive, and the same purpose, then why not work together, unify, and, you know, take this thing to the next level, evolve it to the degree that we know it can go.
That's right. Praise be to Allah.
That's how
Allahu
it is.
Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Great. So, as far as online schools, I know that it can be definitely challenging, and the way you all are expressing the way that it started off, and your years of experience as it relates to on school as well as face-to-face school. What are some of your biggest challenges that you experience as a online school?
Can I go first?
Wow. Yes, absolutely. Take charge.
I'll just speak for myself. I'll speak for myself. I'm a very I taught science for Sister Gina Tay since for 5 years. I just recently took this new post as owner of the elementary. So for me as a science teacher, and as a very interactive type of teacher, I love that hands-on portion. So with it being online, that's my challenge. I love for my babies, for my children to interact and do the projects and do the, experimentation and do, I'm used to touching them, live touching them and helping them and things like that. And so it can be a challenge for me when it comes to that part. That's why I, try to do STEM boxes, send out materials when I can, and just make sure that they're equipped with what they need to engage and be as engaged in the projects in the class as possible. So that's one of my major challenges. And everything else, it's just a matter of classroom management and having, the proper spirit and the patience of dealing with our children and how they like to learn.
Praise be to Allah.
Sister Janate, do you
All praise and due to Allah.
Yes.
My honest answer is the most challenging thing for me is helping the parent to understand that their child or our student can still be engaging. We can still be social. We can still have fun. We can still learn. We can still have projects, and we can still come together and be a family. They're absolutely not missing anything in brick and mortar public school that they cannot do online. So once I can help the parent to understand that, it's different, right? But it's still the same on some level. But it's really better because at every minute of every hour where your child is, who your child is around, and that your child is protected. So getting the parents to understand that our flow is still just as engaging, just as social as in person. But I guarantee you, within a month of their babies being with us, they're like telling other people they are having fun at Stepping Stones. They're still learning. And the key is true love. Walking in the building, absolutely knowing in your heart that you care about every last one of these students that you see in front of you on camera. So that would be the most challenging thing for me, because by the grace of Allah, everything else, Allah just blessed me to be able to flow with it. I'm really easy going because I come from a homeschooling state of mind and organized way of thinking. The other little thing, we just adjust. Let's adjust. We just adjust. And so the challenge of getting the parents to know that we absolutely will give their children the top tier education that they deserve.
All praise due
to Allah.
This is Janate. I thought you were going to say something like the most challenging thing is having them stay on camera.
You know what? I have other online schools that actually call me and say, well, how do you get them on? How do you keep them on camera? Easy. Stay on camera. 10, 9, 8. When I get to 1, you're getting the boot. Once you get the boot and your mom's find out that you can't log in for the rest of the day, you're gonna have to deal with mom and dad. And I know you
There
don't
you
want
go.
that.
That's trouble, right?
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Brother Mark, you were going to say something?
No, she covered that quite well.
Praise be to Allah. Well, I have another question. I'm gonna go to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir.
And the minister says that the following about the purpose of education. Education is supposed to be the proper cultivation of the gifts and talents of the individual through the acquisition of knowledge. Knowledge satisfies our natural thirst for gaining that which will make us one with our Maker. So true education cultivates the person, mind, body, and spirit by bringing us closer to fulfilling our purpose for being, which is to reflect Allah God. The second purpose for education after self-cultivation is to teach us how to give proper service to self, family, community, nation, and then to the world. How does Stepping Stones Academy fulfill this definition for education?
Wow. Beautiful.
Sis Tiffany, you want to go first, or you want me?
We could do this like in study group. Take your time.
I'm not going to be long. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the absolute epitome of an awesome student. You know, I love hearing him talk about the story where he was talking to a little boy, and the little boy was teaching him about the spider. I think it was the spider, and how humble, you know, with that humble spirit, the minister said, you know, you can learn from anybody. You can, you know. And so, for me, I learn from my students every day, and I pride myself in, you know, trying to embody that humility to always be able to learn from them. And with learning from them, you know, understanding that this generation, our children, they are God, and they are on another level. That's why they are so technically advanced. You know, my little daughter, she's 1, and she's working at, you know, smartphone, unlocking it. I mean, just phenomenal. Just naturally out the womb, you know. And so with that, you know, that's why my focus is STEAM, you know, because these are the nation building sciences that we have to utilize, just like we see the Asians do, like we see the Indians do, like we see Caucasians do, like we see all civilized, highly civilized, industrialized people of the world do. And they don't just give their children options. You know, what you want to be when you grow up? No, they, you know, they're tiger moms. You know, they guide them and lead them into what they know is going to help further their nation, further their people. And so with that, you know, we have to do the same thing. When the minister was doing the Black college tour, the historically Black college tour, you know, I was in college at the time, and I was, you know, trying to follow him around as much as I could, you know, going to Memphis, going to these different places that he was at. And he was, you know, the minister was deaf on that. You know, he's like, okay, what's the major? How many of you all are engineers? Where's your name? You know, and so this is a very serious time, and we have to inculcate our children with that mindset of mastery, you know, of godship, because that is what they are not just coming into, that's what they are. And that's what they are responsible for doing, which is building this mighty nation. And so we see this happening in cities like Chicago. You know, we see this happening in cities like California, LA, in different places like this, where the youth, even in Houston, where, you know, we're in Texas, me and Sister Gina Taylor in Texas and in Houston, they taking the ball and running with it. They taking the game, and, you know, they ready. And so that is our duty as educators, to just continue to equip them with the tools, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the spiritual fortitude for them to do exactly what they were brought here on this earth to do. So that would be my answer to that question, Brother Tony. Thank you.
All praises due to Allah.
Praise be to Allah.
Sister Jinite.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. As Sister Tiffany was speaking, I absolutely agree with everything that she says. And me being the principal or director of secondary, which is 5th through 12th grade, my insight of cultivating them. And oh, by the way, I actually have everything you read right here on my desk. I keep it on my desk and I look at it every morning. Sister Tiffany can bear me witness because the purpose of education is the foundation of our rise. You know, so when you talk about proper cultivation of the gifts, and then the second purpose for education after self-cultivation is family, community, nation, and then the world. So we tend to teach our students, our children, things that we tell them all the time. You need to know this, and you need to have this, and you're going to need this in the future, right? I take student enrollment and we introduce student enrollment to them every morning, right? We listen to a clip of the minister or the Sunday's lecture from Chicago every morning. It's called the clip of the day. And then we ask the clip question of the day. So we watch the video, then we ask a question about the video and how it affects our students. I said all of that to say, understanding student enrollment and telling them that they need to know student enrollment, but how can they apply it in their everyday life? So the goal in secondary is not that they just recite student enrollment, not that they just recite actual facts, but we're going to put student enrollment, actual facts into our everyday life. We're going to bring alive. And once we bring it alive, once you can breathe it, you can smell it, you can feel it, you can touch it, you want everything to do with the student enrollment and the actual facts, then you can take it back to your family. You can take it back to your community, and you can build your nation on this foundation while also learning the 4 core subjects that you need to know and the concepts that you need to know, because we have the teachings, we have actual facts, we have student enrollment, but if we don't have our core concepts of every subject, how do we apply it to our everyday life? And so that would be my answer to that.
All praise due to Allah. Students always have to see purpose, and they have to see themselves in what is being taught.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful teaching.
Awesome. My God. Okay. Well, how about this, dear sisters? There'll be people in the audience that will be glad to ask this question here. And my question is this: what advice do you have for those who are seriously interested in starting a school in their own city? What steps should they take? Open to either one.
The first thing I would say is know your laws.
Very good.
And the reason why you must know your laws is, one thing you don't want to do is have a student that you have taught from kindergarten to 12th grade and you give them something that they cannot use.
Ooh.
Okay. Know your law.
So know your laws, right? Understand what you can do and what you may need more education on to be able to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's the first thing.
Yes.
The second thing is let me back up. The first thing is to understand why you're doing it. because none of us are going to be rich being educators. It's just not in it's just not in our future.
That's real
So
talk.
if you're doing it for money,
Okay.
if you're doing it to get rich quick, this isn't for you.
Real
Let's
talk.
Service first.
recalculate what we want to do.
Real talk.
If you
Real talk.
want to do it because you're purpose driven to serve what is needed in our educational drought right now,
It is a drought.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you know it needs to be watered, and you're willing to go out there and till the field, right? Plant the seed, water the garden. If you know that you're willing to put that type of work into what we have as an educational drought, then let's move on to number 2, which is knowing your law.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you know your laws, know your niche. What will be your purpose? Will you be project based? Will you be STEAM? Will you be STEM? What is your niche? Right? Because we can't be everywhere. You can't do everything everywhere. And the next thing I would say is do not attempt to do it on your own. Gather yourself with like minds, because the minister said we will be successful off of unity, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, ma'am.
we must have unity. You must connect with those who have the same vision and who's willing to sacrifice like you. I have to tell you, I have 12 instructors at Stepping Stones, and I know that every single one of them are willing to sacrifice for this vision, because it's my vision has become their vision. And so together we work to accomplish this vision. And because they have taken on this vision with me, they'll never go a week without getting paid. I will sacrifice my own to make sure that they have.
Wow.
So if you're not willing to do any of that, step back. It's not for you.
That's right.
That's leadership right there.
Right. Exactly.
So once you're able to do that, then you go and you market your niche, your passion, your vision with your team, and then nothing will happen unless you seek refuge in Allah and you make Allah success. You make Allah sufficient for you and your team, and go to work. That's my advice.
That part.
Thank you for that, dear sister. Anything to add, Sister Tiffany?
I would say step out on faith. No, Sister Gina Tay answered it beautifully. But just step out on faith, and you can start small. Sometimes when we have a vision or Allah has inspired us to do a thing, we find all the excuses in the world because we can't do it in the way that we want to do it in the end. So what I mean by that is you want this big school, but you have to start somewhere. So, you have to step out on faith and allow Allah to move, like Sister Gina Tay said, move and intervene on your behalf, the people that are going to be there to help you. You never know how that vision may be flipped on its head a little bit. But at the end of the day, you have to step out and start somewhere. So even for me, me and Sister Gina Tay both started in our home. Those are humble beginnings. And we do plan on having a building with the help of Allah. That is the vision, and that is what we're working towards now, in a cohesive manner. So, but we started in our homes, and I did it, for a long time out of my home, still, working out of my home. And so that would be my piece of advice. Just start, even if you're starting in a community center, a library, you may have a homeschool co-op, a small group of children, like Sister Gina Tay said, she had 4. So just start and stay persistent and keep pushing. with the program of what you want to accomplish, and you will be successful with the help of Allah.
Awesome.
That's right.
Thank you, sister.
Praise
Praise
be to Allah. You know, there is a stigma, and I know that, you know, you as educators, especially mastering, I want to say mastering because I think y'all got it going on. Um, mastering online education. But there's a stigma around online education and its socialization. What about the socialization for homeschoolers? How do you all manage that in regards to um, them being sociable outside? And how do you control that and manage that concept?
Sister Gina, if you want to. I would say this. Sister Gina Tate covered that beautifully. You know, but I would say, and it's very short and sweet. What I experience with my children is, you know, you cannot leave it to whatever institution it is. You know, online school. You can't leave as a parent. You cannot leave it all up to the educator or the institution or the entity to do everything. You have to be proactive as a parent and get your children involved. And Brother Tony was talking about robotics, you know, or Lego. There's different robotics teams. There's different STEM groups. There's different. My son does judo. You know, my daughter plays violin. You know, you have to put them in these places that may even be uncomfortable at first because they may be spaces that are not meant for us. But how are our children going to compete and learn how to compete if we're keeping them so sheltered to where they, you know, have a hard time communicating, they having a social anxiety, all these different things? It's about getting them out of those four walls and into spaces that they can really flourish and show their skills, gifts, and talent. And with that, you know, I my children, by the grace of Allah, they're very comfortable. Oldest daughter, she's kind of shy, but she's comfortable. She performs, and she's been performing since she was 3, playing the violin. She, by the grace of Allah, performed at Savior's Day for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Oh,
And you know, so you as a parent have to be proactive and cannot, you know, like they do in a public school. They rely on the public. A lot of our people rely on the public school to do everything. It can't be that way. You have to be, you know, very active in your child's education outside of just the academic part, but you know, the social part as well.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely. And just to add, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say, like, we were talking about Legos and Minecraft and building civilization with those before we started the program. Go ahead, Gina.
Praise be to Allah. Absolutely. I love what Sister Tiffany said, that the responsibility can not only be on the homeschooling group or the school. So we absolutely can identify with that, and we communicate that with the parents, that we are partners in your student's journey. So that means we have a responsibility, but it also means you have a responsibility. We have school Monday through Thursday. One, first and foremost, is because we want all of our students to be able to make it to Juma prayer, right?
Beautiful.
But we also want, outside of Juma prayer, we also want them to have a day where they can get out and be a part of the judo class, be a part of the violin lessons. We have one student who is also in the ensemble with the youth in the nation. She plays the piano. She taught herself how to play the piano.
Oh, so we had her on the show.
Yes, she plays beautifully. We want them to be able to go outside of the realm of the online and get into their community. We also encourage the parents to get together. We have regions of students. I believe we have 14 students in Fort Worth, Texas. We encourage them Sister Tamisha, I know you're on. Get with me about that hub, sister. Praise be to Allah. Hubs around the country. We have a hub in Georgia where the students can meet up and do school together. We want them to do meet and greets together. We want to what was the name of the race that you all did last year? The bubble race. A lot of our students online met up in Fort Worth and they went to a bubble race. So we're always encouraging and putting things out there for them to do in their cities together so that they can see each other. They can talk to each other face to face. One of our largest group of students is in Atlanta. They drill together. They go to the mosque together. They go skating together. So outside of the realm of online, we're encouraging them to do something at home. But not only that, here at Stepping Stones Online Education, the children have recess in elementary where they can eat their lunch and log back in and talk to one another. They play games and draw on the board together and play Minecrafts, listen to the minister together. Their recess is online. They do PE together where they're able to dance and what is it, duck? Now run or whatever. They do that together.
Love that.
The high school, the secondary school, they have project-based groups, projects together. Where they do projects together. They go out in the breakout room and they discuss how can you make your community a better place to live. So they're doing things together. One thing that I find is true, and it is like the Bible to me at Stepping Stones: do not talk at our students. Do not lecture them. Let them talk to you. Let them talk to each other. Open up the chat. We don't close the chat and tell them they can't talk to the chat in the chat. We ask them to wait till instruction is given, but throughout their assignments, if they need help with one another, get in the chat and ask someone for help. So we're always pushing them communicating. And then at the end of the year, the first week of June, every year, we all come together in Austin, Texas. On Friday, we have a meet and greet at the restaurant. On Saturday, we go to, what's the name of the place? Austin Park and Pizza, which is an inside amusement park. They spend all day there. And then afterwards, we go back to the hotel and we play Uno. We have a pizza party. The high schoolers go together with chaperones. Hold on now. They have chaperones. They hang out by themselves. We don't do that here. They have chaperones and they go play putt-putt, and then Sunday we have our award ceremony, our graduation, and not this year, but the year before, we even had a beautiful sneaker ball.
Oh wow.
So one of my students said last year on a platform, she said, no socialization where? Not here.
Right.
There you go.
That's crazy, Salah.
Yes.
And this year, Sister Gina Tay, me and Sister Gina Tay already have a plan. We're going to have an in-person science fair.
Look at
And we have an awesome cooking class that's taught by Sister Sequesta. And we plan on hopefully doing some type of competition, fundraiser, inshallah, dealing with chops where the students will get a chance to come eat by cooking. So we're trying to put a lot of things together for them. And so, yes, ma'am, but that is definitely an important component that we really, really focus in on at our school.
Praises be to Allah. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And it doesn't seem like you allow yourself to be limited because you are an online school. And you've been mentioning this, but if you could mention some other things that come to mind, what advantages do you have as an online school?
I would say the guarding of our children from the time that we're in. It's about at least once a month we're hearing about a shooting.
Right.
There's been shootings here in Texas, of course, but all over the nation. And if it's not shooting, then there's this homosexual agenda that's being pushed where they're letting little boys use the female bathrooms. This is a very real thing. And so we're seeing this agenda being pushed, and you have there's just so many different components. You know, we have the children that are, or I'm sorry, we have the teachers that are molesting or doing things to the students, having relationships with the students. You know, it's just on and on. And then with COVID, we've seen how our children can be exposed to different illnesses, sicknesses, but mainly, you know, with the vaccine, you know, the minister gave us divine instruction from Allah on high not to take the vaccine. And so now we have to consider our children being in the midst of those who have been vaccinated and being up close to them and being ill affected from the spike protein. You know, these are just different, you know, we have a divine man in our midst that has warned us, and he's still warning us. And these are the things that we have to guard our children from, because they are very precious. They belong to Allah. And so this just gives us more control over their educational experience, over their safety, and over their innocence, making sure that they stay innocent and not exposed to all of the sickness that's out in the world, and unfortunately in our school systems, even in private schools, even in charter schools. You know, it's there in some form or fashion. So that is, I would say, you know, what I see the great benefit of the online component is.
Yes, ma'am.
And may I just add one thing? Keep in mind that Stepping Stones online education do not claim to be a school, right? And the reason why we do not claim to be a school is because I've studied laws across each border, and each law is different. So, in order for us to incorporate my vision, we must be considered a homeschooling group. So the benefit of online, the benefit of Stepping Stones online is we're an online homeschooling group that cater to homeschooling parents. The reason why I created Stepping Stones online education is to assist parents who are homeschooling. Why? Because when I was homeschooling, there was no assistance for me. My oldest child is 29 years. Well, I'm sorry, Jayla. In her late 20s, I'll say. And and you know, during that time of me homeschooling is popular now. It wasn't popular then, you know. And my husband and I together, we have 9 children together, so it wasn't buying a bunch of books for everybody in the house. You understand? So there were times where I would go into thrift stores and buy used books and erase the answers and be out all night erasing workbooks and making copies. And I don't want that for anyone else. And so we have a homeschooling group to assist you. You feel uncomfortable teaching history? We'll teach it for you. You feel uncomfortable with high school math? We got you. Improper English, excuse me. But we have you. We will assist you. And so that is the benefit of homeschooling online. You don't have to, parents, you don't have to do it yourself. You have something that you can depend on. You have brothers and sisters that you can depend on who will partner up with you and help you through your homeschooling journey. That's the benefit.
Yes, ma'am.
And for only $65 a week, that's it? Why not?
Yes, wow.
Wow, well, sign me up. Uh,
Praise.
I'll need anybody that can teach math. I'm in. My question, my next question to you, and this is on a personal level to each of you. Enough about the school. Let's get to y'all. We'll talk about y'all. And question, what motivates you to remain steadfast in fulfilling the critical need of educating our children? What motivates you to remain steadfast?
Sister Jean?
I see the benefit in what it has done for my children.
Mhm.
My daughter went or graduated with honors from Stanford University, Ivy League school.
Oh,
Not on a not on a sports scholarship, not on a art scholarship, but on an academic scholarship.
Beautiful.
That's the benefit of homeschooling. I have a son right now at Prairie View HBCU.
Okay.
And he didn't have to take remedial classes when he got there, like most of our students do. He went straight into his niche, the benefit of homeschooling. My children are very respectful. Sister Tiffany Burmy witness.
they are.
Anytime they step into the room, it's yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. They take very good care of their mother. This is the benefit of homeschooling. They're not out in the street. They have very high respect for themselves. Now, I
Beautiful.
can't put it just on the homeschooling. It's the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that I put in the homeschooling that
Beautiful.
have turned these results, right? So that's the benefit, and that's what I see. That's what gives me energy. And I've learned from what I didn't do with them, I've learned how to implement it into my students. Each and every one of my students, they're mine. I let their parents borrow them at the end of the day. But I put in them what I saw. I missed that with them. You know, so that to be able to see 10 students graduate from Stepping Stones online education, and all of them still contact me and let me know. Sister Gina say I'm still in college. Sister Gina say I'm going in my junior year. Sister Gina say I'm going in my year. I passed all my courses. I passed all my courses this semester. That's what keeps me going. Because I'm like, all right, hurry up and graduate so you can retire me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, man.
Praise be to Allah.
Sister Tiffany.
Yes, sir. Well, I have young children. My oldest is 10 and my youngest is 1. And so, of course, that is my motivation, but I was teaching before. And when I was teaching for the public school in St. Louis, I was heartbroken by the condition of our babies.
Yes,
I had students. I worked as a paraprofessional. I worked in special ed classes, and I had students that were homeless, that were living out of the car with their mother. And not the only meal they were getting was at school. So I knew then that this was a divine purpose for me. And once I got married and started having children, then it became, just a non-negotiable. And with that, seeing kind of along the line of what Sister Gina said, seeing the results, I mean, at Savior's Days, when I'm able to make it, just when my students come up to me and they're like, Sister Tiffany, and they're running up to me, and some of them, I'm like, God, wait a minute, you have gotten really big. And then even years later, they remember me, and they remember lessons that I taught, things that we've done in my class. It's like, wow, this is what it's all about.
That's
And like
right.
Sister Gina said earlier, it's not about the money, because as everybody knows, it's a running joke now, educators don't make much. It's a labor of love, complete labor of love. And the minister said that what, when it comes to our purpose, anything that you can do for free or that you would do for free and that you're passionate about and just will do it, without having to be paid or, getting this benefit or that benefit. That is your purpose. And that is what educating our children is for me. Absolutely. 100%.
Praises be to Allah.
Thank you.
Wow. This is so beautiful. First of all, I am amazed when you have children that cling to education and it's something that is not rewarded often. We see so many gang related activities. This, something just went viral the other day about a 14-year-old, shooting their parents and, but we have beautiful children that don't see their parents as awards from God and not the enemy, but going into just the beautiful purification of their minds. My question is, why do homeschool students typically finish school earlier than public school students? I kind of have an idea, right? Because of, the actual age, because I know in Florida, it's an age thing. You have to match the age as it relates to the demographics of the lessons or the actual, grade level. But in your particular case, the sky is the limit. But I do see beautiful results as a 14-year-old graduate student. I'm like, what? 14 years old. So can you kind of expound on that in regards to your school and just the beautiful, contribution to early learning and the accelerated portion of your school?
Well, yes, ma'am. We have a program that we have set up with a platform that we use.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, if a parent believes true in their heart that their student can sit in front of the camera with the parent being in attendance for 3.5 hours and pay attention to their instructor, we allow them to start. Sister Tiffany in elementary for our pre-K kindergarten class. So that is number one. Our early learning is, if we're going to teach the alphabets to a kindergartner, a 5-year-old, then we absolutely can teach the alphabets, counting, simple additions, simple subtraction to a 2-year-old, 3-year-old. My daughter was writing sentences at 1, So first and foremost is, can the parent be disciplined enough to be on track for the student to graduate early? That's first and foremost. The second thing is the program that we have set up. We're moving students every semester, depending on their growth. We have assessments, we have project-based testing, and we have assignments. And so we're able to calculate their movements. Now, with that being said, it's not an easy process. So you don't just come in and say, oh, I want my child to graduate at 13. What are you willing to do? Because it's a lot of hard work. And so it isn't that, oh, we want them to graduate early, so we're just throwing stuff at them. Because what's the purpose of graduating early? What's the purpose of saying that you mastered this, and then when you leave, you remember nothing that you mastered? What's the purpose? Right. Then you're in college, You're in college from 13 to 21. So the time that you didn't spend in elementary and secondary, you're spending it in college. Yay,
Right.
you went to college at 13, but you're there till you're 21. Make it
What they
make
call
sense.
those? They call those
Career students.
career students.
So not
Right.
only moving them up, but making sure they comprehend the whole concept. So you can't say that my child is good in math, so I want them to my fifth grader is excelling in math, so I want you to put him in seventh grade because he's in the seventh grade level. No, we can put your child in seventh grade math, but he's going to take fifth grade language. He's going to take fifth grade geography, and so that's how we move.
Beautiful.
Sister Janite, if I could comment, I think what you're talking about here is the balance, because for those of us in the Nation of Islam, for many parents, like the drive is, I want my child to finish early. I want my child to finish early. They don't have to finish early. You move according to the readiness of the child, because if we try to push them and rush them, and it's not going to fare well. Which is the antithesis of what typically happens in public school. You mentioned Florida, Sister Kalila.
Mm-hmm.
It's really like age based. At this particular age, you should be at this particular grade.
Right.
I've encountered so many parents where they would want their child tested for gifted, and then just to get them to do that is you have to go through so many hoops. Excuse me.
Right.
And when the child proves that they're very capable, excuse me, to get them to the next grade or the next grade over, it's very difficult to do. That's why a lot of parents are opting for online schools, homeschooling, and private schools. And so, but I think what you just hit on, Sister Janite, is the balance. Excuse me.
It absolutely has to be balanced. And the reason why it has to be balanced is because when you have a child who graduates early, and just imagine being this child where everyone is saying, wow, my child is in this class and he's doing this, and everybody at the mosque is celebrating you, and everybody at home, the family reunions, everybody's celebrating you graduating, and then you get to college and you can't maintain. This is not for all students, but I'm saying the unspoken student that graduates early, right? And so they graduate early and they end up being in a bubble of not being able to progress or to excel. What does that do to the child?
Confidence. Right?
Because we built them up so high, right? And how do they maintain in college knowing that they're not responding like they usually do?
Right.
So we just have to be careful and take our time. Yes, if you're mastering this on the seventh grade level, we'll put you in seventh grade for math, but maybe you're not ready for that in fifth grade. I have 2 students right now who's getting ready to go into seventh grade language arts, right? Because they've mastered sixth grade language arts, but they're still in sixth grade math, right? They're still in pre-algebra. They're still doing sixth grade geography. And so now there's a balance. They know I'm good at this, but it's encouraging them and motivating them to get just as good in math as they are in language arts.
I love that. I love that a lot.
Wow.
I love that a lot.
Well, let me ask the question. Do you ever encounter any challenges funding? And if so, how do you overcome those challenges?
The challenge for, did you say funding? I'm sorry.
Yeah, do you ever encounter any challenges in funding your program? If so, how do you overcome challenges and those challenges?
We fundraise. Our tuition is only $65 a week with a registration of $50 per family, not per student, but per family. And so one of the requirements, because the tuition is so low, is that it's mandatory that everyone participate in fundraising. So we have fundraising twice a year. We have it at the beginning of the year before December, and then we have another one before the end in May. And we accumulate enough money to be able to keep our doors open. So we're saying these fundraising monies don't have to come from you, but let's go in the community together in unity and raise what we don't get in our $65 a week. Majority of our instructors get paid at the end of the year based on our fundraising. Because to be honest, around Savior's Day, after Savior's Day, it's trickling in like drips of water. So those fundraisers allow us to keep the doors open. So we fundraise, we put the money to the side, and we leave it for that rainy day, because I'm serious. I refuse for my teachers not to get paid. So we fundraise what we know we're not going to have coming in.
And if I got some money in my pocket that I want to distribute, will you take it from me? Is there a way I can get it to you, or are you gonna take any money?
Absolutely.
You know,
No, sir, we don't want your money.
Money not good around here.
All praises to God.
wow.
As you can see, we have a good time in my high school classes. I tell them, I say at the first week of school, I say, y'all, I am real quirky. I am real goofy, but you're going to learn. That's all that matters.
There you go. There you go. Beautiful.
But yes, sir, you can donate. If you want to donate to secondary, you can donate to Cash App, $7 Stones online. And if you want to donate with elementary,
it's you can Zelle it to 214-909-6455. Cash App, $Tiffany, my name, and then last name Alexander, but it's better to do it through Zelle. That's it.
Can both of you put it in the private chat? That way we can put it on the screen.
Please do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and there is a question here. Assalamu alaikum. Can someone please put the link for the school? So how can someone get to? Do you have a website for the school? I know you have a Facebook page for the school, Sister Gina Tay.
Okay, thanks for putting it in now.
Okay.
And this is actually the website. Am I correct?
Yes, SteppingStonesOnline.org. I'll put that in there as well.
There it is. Praise Allah. Oh, we got to support this great work here.
Absolutely.
Got to.
Look at the graduates.
Yes, beautiful.
Praise be to Allah.
So proud of them.
Praises due to Allah.
My niece was one of those graduates, Soraya Mariam. Praise be to Allah this year.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Beautiful.
And I think if you go, you can see some of the projects that we have done as well. If you scroll down a little more.
Oh, okay. All right.
Lots and lots of projects. Crazy.
Beautiful.
That is our very first graduate.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful babies. Oh, wow. Look at this.
Look at the scientists.
Okay, you talking about language now? Come on.
Beautiful.
Wow.
I love that.
Chief.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful.
There it is. That's how we support it right there.
That's it. That's it. Wow.
Oh, we can catch
Absolutely
that. Yes. Beautiful.
Nothing but the God. I'm telling you. If I was to end this with anything, I would absolutely say, look at Master Fard Muhammad.
There you go.
Not Sister Gina Tay, not Sister Tiffany, but the God did this.
That's right, Master Fard Muhammad. It's all the credit.
Praise.
Correct on that. Yes,
Praise be to Allah.
Well, dear family, I have a question as we're winding down. What are some of the past major wins of the school? If you could, you've mentioned some of them, but if you could mention a couple more, and what new programs, or let me rephrase that, what new exciting programs do you have in store for the school in the 2025-2026 school year?
Ooh, Sister Tiffany, go ahead and tell them about your STEM boxes.
Oh, yes. Well, yes, I designed STEM boxes that will be coming to our students soon. But this, based on the hard work of the teachers, but based on the hard work of Sister Gina Tay, we were featured in the Final Call newspaper. There's this excellent organization. Yes, that's so exciting. Also, there's an excellent organization called VELA. It's spelled VELA, and based on the excellent work that Sister Gina Tay puts in, we were granted a awesome grant that assisted, and it's a very competitive. Matter of fact, I just came from the conference this last weekend, and it's very competitive. It's thousands and thousands of people that put in for that grant, and they were so impressed with Stepping Stones that they gave Stepping Stones the grant. So that was a huge major milestone. Awesome. And then, like she said, we were rolling out these STEM boxes so that our children will have, some of the components that they need to do these projects. Children love receiving things in the mail, so they'll be, lighting up when they see these boxes arrive with their names on it, with their materials. Like I said, we have a science fair coming up that's going to be super awesome, where our children will get a chance to showcase their STEM skills and abilities, showcase their projects, and we'll have prizes and awards for that. And, we just, want to implement, for me, I want to implement the robotics, want to implement more engineering through projects, and we're going to provide those, inshallah. And then, getting them familiar with coding, AI, careers in AI, because we want to be, prepare our children to be able to do the programming of the hardware for these, this up and coming futuristic world that we're in now. Super important. And, then the agricultural piece, we have a lot of guest speakers that are coming, authors that are coming that are going to read their books and provide, testimonies of what our children can do in these different fields of study. So those are some of the things that we have for elementary. And I know Sister Gina Tay has excellent things planned for our secondary school.
Yes. So some of the milestones that we have accomplished in secondary is we were the very first online school to have a high school student council. And this student Council was created to be a council to uphold our Islam, not only to uphold the students' Islam, but to be a support group for all the students in secondary. They organize all our events. They organize our spirit week, our test week. We have a president, we have a vice president, and we have a secretary. So that was a huge milestone. The next milestone I would say is that we have an ethics class. All of us have Islamic studies, but we have an ethics class where the students are taught moral conduct, good morals, how to be a better Muslim, how to be a better Muslim child. We are the only school that have an ethics class. And you know what was born from our ethics class? One of our students, no, 3 of our students decided during Ramadan last year that they enjoyed reading the Quran so much that they created a before school Quranic reading for all high school students. No one told them to. No instructor, no parent. This is something that they did because we encouraged them to read the Quran. We encouraged them to strive to fast for Ramadan. And it was such a beautiful experience that they now, till this day, they get together before school for their Quranic reading. And now didn't we just get a message that they're jumping into message to the Black man now?
Oh, wow.
And then lastly, I want to say that our assessments last year, at the end of the year, for math, our results for math assessment was 63% above national scores. That was for math. Our ELAR results was 75% above national. That was a growth in math from August of 32.7% growth for math and 40.5% growth for ELAR. Those are some milestones.
Wow.
So
Definitely. Wow. Beautiful. Man.
Y'all better support this.
Yes, I'm telling you.
I'm gonna
Put that cash out back up there.
there we go.
Right.
I was about to say. Dear family, we want to support independent education. Please support Stepping Stone Online School,
Right.
both the elementary school and secondary. Please make your donation tonight or whenever you see this program.
Absolutely.
Praises be to Allah. Wonderful, wonderful.
Beautiful.
Well, I just want to do, I know that Sister Genete, you said, you said your slight closing remarks, but I want to give you an opportunity to do your conclusion. You have in our culture, in the Nation of Islam, we have several conclusions. So look, these 2 brothers can contest. So
I remember being on post. As a vanguard, and we would count the ministers closing. Like, oh, it's important. We almost relieved.
All right.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So in your final conclusion, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
My final conclusion, first, I want to thank Allah, His messenger, and our Jesus, and our our guide. First and foremost, I cannot thank them enough, and I pray every day. I think I put this signature on everything, just about everything. I pray that Allah is pleased,
Mm.
right? I want to thank my beautiful husband, Brother Malachi Muhammad, because if it wasn't for Brother Malachi Muhammad and his hours upon hours upon hours of driving over the road to and fro from one side of the United States to the other, there would not be a stepping stone because he financed us Tiffany, for the first 2 years. He financed us because we weren't making
Special shout out to Brother Malachi.
Yes.
so all praises due to Allah. I want to thank him. I want to thank the parents for trusting us to serve your household. It is such an honor, and we work so hard to make you and your students happy. I want to thank my staff because they work outside of what they get paid, and we're applying for a grant. And it's a nice sum. And one of the things I want to do is I want to give all of my instructors a bonus, you know, because I want to thank them for all of the sacrifice they do for our school. And then you know who else I want to thank? I want to thank you all for bringing us on. And lastly, I want to thank my students because they make stepping stones what it is. They are bright, they are charismatic, they are social, they are funny, they are intelligent, and they fear Allah. And they are soldiers. And I love those soldiers. And I pray to Allah they know how much I love them. Those are my closing remarks.
Oh,
Praises be to Allah. Sister Tiffany.
Yeah. In closing, I just want to thank you all for having us on this platform. It's very humbling. Much gratitude for this opportunity. Me and Sister Gina are very grateful. We strive, me and my sister, we are very much, like-minded, and we try to definitely, keep pushing even when the going gets hard and resources are few. We sacrifice to do what Allah has put on us to do. And so my closing, I just want to encourage parents to, continue on in this journey of educating our own children. Do not give up, do not give in. We know that sometimes it can get difficult and you may want to put your children in a public school, you may want to put them into some private school or some charter school, whatever it is. But know that there are so many beautiful options, with Stepping Stone being one, and then there's others out there that are, awesome and excellent, and provide our children with a safe, nurturing and highly intelligent environment where they will be challenged and pushed to their greatest potential. And so I just want to encourage the parents, just want to encourage our nation, our people, because we're starting to get more an influx of our people that are not in the nation that are enrolling their children. And we appreciate that support as well. But we just want to be encouraging to our people, especially in this time when we're in, where, we're not necessarily going to continue to have, a lot of the options that we had available to us, with what's going on politically, etc. So, we're here. We just want to make our people know that we are here as an alternative and as an option, and we love our babies, and they will feel that every day, as well as the parents strive to make them feel that every day. And so with that, I'm extremely grateful for this platform and for the opportunity to speak and have this conversation with our community.
Praises be to Allah.
Beautifully said, Sister Tiffany.
Beautiful.
All praises to Allah.
And I will turn the floor over to you, Brother Tony.
Over to me. What do I have to say? Beloved family. Oh, look. I was about to say, Sister Khalil, you just like
I mean,
went ahead. Look, dear family. of course, this right here, this podcast, this broadcast is a labor of love. However, that doesn't mean that we don't have bills. The streaming platform that we use, they don't come to us and say, "Oh, you're about saving lives. You are so nice. We're gonna go ahead and give you this platform for free." No, they don't do things like that. You know that phrase. Where they do that at? No, we have to pay bills just like everybody else, and we're very grateful for whatever you're able to donate tonight. You can put 5 on it. Don't sing the rest of the song though. And we thank you for whatever donation. If it's 5, 10, 20. If you balling like that, it could be in the area of thousands. It's up to you. But in anything, it could be as low as $1. We thank you for whatever ever you are able to donate tonight. May Allah continue to bless you all and your families.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that being said, please like, share, enjoy, and I hope and pray that you have enjoyed our show. Stay tuned to next Thursday.
We got a powerful program next week. You want to tune in?
Oh my God!
Already put it in your calendar to tune in. We're not gonna let it out the
No.
what is the bag?
They have
We
to
don't
tune
have a
in.
bag.
They have to
Saying, we're
tune
not gonna
in.
let it out yet. But tune in to
Exactly.
social media. You'll see what's coming up next.
Anticipate.
We're excited.
Well, may Allah continue to bless you all. Thank you all for joining us. Please, again, like and share. If you get it on a reply, just hit reply. Just say, hey, we was not here, but we are here. And tune in next week to your Thursday night talks. May Allah continue to bless you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Good luck. Walaikum
Alaikum salam.